Okay, we're back to learn more about fleas. Today we're going to learn about different signs your dog could be giving you to tell you that they have fleas. There are two different types of signs. There's behavioral and physical. The most common signs you'll see and you'll recognize probably is scratching, licking, hair loss, skin irritation, or actually see a flea. And also they can have some behavioral changes. So we'll talk about that first, the behavioral changes. Scratching, biting, and licking skin excessively or behavioral. They usually, when they are licking and biting, when they have fleas, most common areas are the base of the tail and that lower back area. Also their neck and ears, they'll scratch there. The belly and inner thighs, they'll chew and scratch there. So those are the most common places that if your dog is licking or biting a lot, that's probably what it is. So you might want to check them for fleas, okay? The excessive biting, licking, scratching, that can cause hot spots. And that is, that's not good. So that's probably the most common thing you will see, but that's the other thing we're gonna talk about later, is those hot spots, and they turn into bubbos and they get infected. They can get infected and cause all kinds of stuff. So you want to stay on top of that. If your dog is excessively scratching or biting for any, or licking for any reason, you want to watch for hot spots because it can turn into an infection. They also will get more agitated. They'll be restless. They can't calm down. What else? So if your dog's just always like up, like they can't sit for very long, then they may be just, the fleas are irritating the heck out of them, just like when the mosquitoes get us. We can't stand it. They can't stand the fleas. So that is some behavioral signs. We're going to go now to physical signs, which you will see red and irritated skin from the scratching and biting. It can lead to hot spots. We just talked about that. So you'll see that, which would be inflamed patches of skin with, sometimes they have little scabbies and stuff on them, or little baby bumps. They'll start small. Obviously, hair loss, and that is just from all the scratching and biting. It just, their hair will fall out, pull it out. Again, those patches will be around the base of the tail. If you've ever noticed, if your dog has ever had fleas, that back end sometimes looks really, really thin, like hardly any hair on it, just because of all the scratching. So you'll start noticing thinning patches. So if you see thinning patches around the neck area or the base of the tail, the lower back, then that's most commonly fleas, from a flea. So got to stay on top of that, make sure they are not losing their hair. Flea dirt, which I don't know if anyone's ever seen it, and it's little bitty black specks. It looks like dirt. It actually looks like dirt. But whenever you when water hits them and you rub it, or if you rub it off with a wet washcloth, it will turn almost like a brownish red, like rust color. And that is from the blood, because what flea dirt is, it is actually flea feces, which is full of blood. So you'll know for sure that that is not just dirt. If you do that and it's just dirt, you're not going to see that brownish, reddish, rusty color that you will see if it is flea dirt, actually flea dirt. So that's the way you can test it to know for sure. Just do that little, rub it with the wet cloth. Obviously, if you see fleas, if you see little brown bugs on your dog, more than likely it is a flea, and they jump. So when you see them, they're going to try to get away from you. But obviously, if you see a flea, they have fleas. Also, another thing is, and this is a little excessive. So if your dog has pale gums or is lethargic, then that's excessive. Puppies will get it quicker because it doesn't take a lot for puppies to start getting lethargic, and the pale gums is because of the blood. There's so much blood being lost from the fleas biting. I'll say lost, but you know what I mean. Not physically like leaking, but the fleas are biting so much that it's taking their blood supply. So, and that's not good. If you see that, then you definitely need to get your dog to the vet and get it on treatment. Treat the house, and the dog might need some extra care from the vet. So you got to do that. Yeah, small dogs. Okay, so puppies and small dogs. I should have said puppies, I guess. So anyway, you know, if you see that there is definitely a problem and it needs to be addressed immediately. Always check the bedding where your dog sleeps, the couch, or wherever your dog loves to lay the most. You might actually see some fleas and flea dirt actually from falling off the dog in those areas. So then you'll know, you know, that your suspicions are right, that the fleas are there, and you need to go ahead and take care of that. Also, another thing, and this is kind of gross, but I'm going to tell you because you need to know. Okay, so they can leave little things that look like a grain of rice. I know this is gross. And it'll be around the booty or in the bedding. And usually that means it is a tapeworm. And tapeworms is caused from your dog ingesting the flea, and then they get the tapeworms. So then it comes out the booty, and it's kind of gross. But a lot of times it looks like dried up rice around the booty area. And you definitely, if you see that, you need to take care of that. You'll have to get some medicine from the vet to clear it up because it won't just go away. So those are some signs that your dog has fleas. If you have any other questions, let me know.